Where next for the dollar? Hi, Charlie giving you today's video. I'm actually recording this prior to being away over this next week. I don't know which day this video is going out but at the moment, but thought we'd have a look at the dollar index here. And I've pulled up a weekly chart of the dollar index. So overall, from what I'm showing here at the moment, we can see the dollar index had a great run through 21 and into 2022, then did a bit of a pullback in the latter part of 2022, and then through much of 23 really has been a bit on the range bound side of things. So where to next? What's going on with the dollar? Well, there are many influences that affect the dollar. Things like the bond market is going to be prevalent to the dollar this year, but let's just keep it simple for now and pose some questions here. So if I go out to a monthly time frame, because that's what we're really talking about when we're talking about the bigger picture here, you look at the monthly charts, and again, over the last decade or more, overall the trend has been to the upside for the dollar. And as you can also see, that from a technical analysis perspective, the dollar, when it's pulled back into all of this here over during sort of 2023 or so, technically you would say at first glance, right, okay, well, it's sitting here. Yes, it's got a bit choppy, but it's still sitting above the prior highs of the range here. So from a technical perspective, there's certainly an argument to the upside. But is there an argument to the downside as well? So let's go and have a little look at that. Because what you can actually see, and if I take us back to a weekly time frame, is multiple tests of this zone down here around, let's call it 102 to make things easy. Yeah, we've spiked through it, but let's call it 102. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Multiple tests of that level there. So I think this is what I call my a pebble on a pond. You imagine you're skimming a pebble across the surface of the pond, and it bounces and it bounces off the surface of the pond even, and then eventually, as it loses inertia, it ends up falling through the surface of the pond, and that's the end of that. And you've got to get another stone to go and skim across the pond. And I use that same analogy when it comes to the markets. If a market keeps coming back down to a level and it comes down to it several times, then you've got to be on the lookout at least for if it's going to come down again. So as a big picture piece here of something to look out for in case it does, if the dollar gets back down to this 102 zone, then it may well be that that pebble on the pond is going to start to develop, whereby it ends up coming back down and then challenging the 100 area, and then we'll see after that. So it's really just a little bit of a technical video. I don't often do technical videos. It's still very basic, but it's a little technical video today rather than a mindset one, and just something on that. Now, there are all sorts of factors at play, like I've already said. Of course, there's the fundamentals of what's going on with the central banks. We've got the bond market, what's going on there in the bond market affects, and bond yields affect the dollar as well. But keeping things fairly simplistic as a pattern to look out for, keep your eye on 102. There you go, that's enough for me today. Have a lovely day. I'll see you soon.